So is it working? It's working now. Oh yeah, there it is. I don't think you better touch your sister, because if your fingerprints are on there, you're out of here.
These are the conferences.
Yeah.
Do you want to sit here, Anne?
Yeah, so,
So we just violated the obedience, which we're going to talk about tomorrow, because Sister Mary was not supposed to touch the instrument over on the wall, but she did.
That sounds like Mary.
That's right, Carrie.
But because of her disobedience, you can hear. Well, good afternoon. So we're kind of interrupting maybe your other aspects of ordinary spirituality or Nazareth spirituality. If you look a little bit at the idea of what I'm calling again spirituality of creativity. So it doesn't mean you have to be an artist by any means. It means that we all have our creativeness in us. And I appreciate some of you brought your artistic things here. I think you brought some mandalas that you've done, Jenny, and then I saw some pottery over here, and then some eggs even back there. I think Marcia brought some eggs that she developed. And so this idea of expressing ourselves is this creativity that points, I always say, to the Creator. So what I thought today, and we're not going to mess with baking an egg thing, because it is kind of messy if you're going to deal with dyes and fire. It sounds like an accident waiting to happen, right? And then on white too, I wouldn't recommend, dyeing with white clothes on. And your fingers, whatever. We're not going to go that route. We're just going to use kind of the egg though, as kind of the idea that it's a symbol of life. And so what is going to happen is we're going to ask you, you got a piece of paper, I think, on your tables for everybody. That, and I guess some are maybe viewing this from beyond here or whatever in your rooms, you can get a piece of paper and you can just make an egg. How does that sound? This isn't a perfect egg. You can draw an egg. You can divide, we'll get to the minute of dividing, but yeah, make the egg first. Then I'm going to talk about, you can just choose how you want to divide it. Because what I'm saying is, basically, this is a potential of life. What springs forth from an egg is life. Well, what will that life look like? It has to have, I would say, kind of a design to it. And that's where I'm going to ask you to do this, probably just with a black pencil or some dark pencil, not colored so much right now. What is the design that God has that makes us all common? What's the design? And so this I'm going to give you, which is basically, he's going to say, here is your format, except you're the creator here. You can decide 3 different kinds. You want to make your division like this, it's going to end up with 4 divisions in it. Or you can also, if you want to be a little more creative, I suppose, you could go and divide it laterally or vertically. And make, again, as long as you got 4 sections. Is that kind of making sense? You're going to create your own world. And if you don't like this one, you can do another one later. The whole thing is this. But there's basically, and this is what I would call it, a design that is all humanity. In some way, we're given a structure or a foundation. We're all the same. We have that kind of commonness, And why only 4? I'm just making this up. Because if you notice on any of these eggs, they will start with the simpler divisions, and then they divide again, and then again. And you can get quite intricate as far as all the different designs. But for us today, we're going to say this is God's design for the human family. Now, with this in mind, and what I would suggest is we're going to look at then on your tables, I think you've got that a book that will talk about, sheets that talk about designs or symbols and colors. Rather than dipping into colors and dyes, we're going to just let you use your crayons and colors kind of right from the get-go. But we're going to ask that each of these designs that you have then, that's in front of you, are going to have four things for you to put symbols in. Now the symbols you're going to pick are your own. You're going to pick them either from this list of different symbols. I guess we've got different pictures of symbols up here too. It might simply be the fish or Christianity. It might be a symbol of the sun. It might be the star. It might be the cross. This cross hatching is kind of a net. Those can be designs that you use. There's other ones that's lines and the swirl lines. Those are kind of intriguing. Or the wheat, another symbol. You've got them on the sheet there. I think grapes, a ladder. Ladder is kind of an important one, the idea of prayer ladder. A leaf, again, maybe a triangle, the eye of God. I think that's emphasized or talked about in one of those symbol things. And those will be symbols. What are the symbols going to be representing? And here's what I'm going to say now is, so each of these quadrants, so you must have probably have 4 different sections on your egg. I don't see 4 on here yet. I'm going to have to, I don't know. Yeah, just divide it up. Can you get it in? You got yours going here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, okay. Then decide which one, but one of those sections is going to represent symbols that represent you. So which one do you want to be in your egg here? You want to be this one or that one? You can decide. So one of them will be you. One of them will be your family. So you could let one of those quadrants be some symbols about your family. Then another one will be your own religious community. Again, most of you here are the servants of Mary, is that right? Or are there mercies? And mercy, yes. So whatever you might look at is what's your symbol of your community. That can go in another quadrant. And then the last quadrant would be the world. What symbols represent the world? So with this idea, the symbols, you have quite a few different ones listed here, but this is by no means exhaustive. And you might say this isn't an automatic connection for me. This idea here might be a better symbol that you would use. Be creative in your own. If you would rather say, I want to make, I'll give you an example, an apple, let's just use that instead of something else, that's fine. If you're a teacher, maybe that would be the one you use. I don't know. Or is that a little stereotype? Sometimes symbols are a stereotype. If you see a dollar sign, you think automatically money. If I see that on any of these theater posters, I might be a little concerned, especially if it's about your community, because it shouldn't be money, right? The world might have a dollar sign on it. You know, I'm just getting at kind of symbols. So how many would you put on there? That's going to be kind of left up to you to decide how intricate or how full you want it to be. And then the only person who really has to interpret this is you, because unless you want to share it, you could, because it does become a springboard a little bit about here's how I see myself as a creation of God, how I see my own family as being kind of how God created us, how I'm part of this religious community. These symbols tell about that. And then the world itself too. What things there of world stand out as kind of a symbol to represent how I see the world. So it's kind of an exercise in some quiet and reflection. I guess in that sense you can be talking at your tables too if you want. It doesn't matter to me. But the idea is I'm going to give you some time to just do that. And then maybe we'll let you kind of just be free if you want to stay around and chat a little bit about what symbols are there. We might do a little discussion if you want. It isn't like you have to stay for that. Is that making some sense? So it's kind of thrown into your court right now. Yes? All right, so the 4 would be yourself, and then your family. And then the other one is the world. Well, I said the world. I said first of all your community, and then the world. Yeah, I went to 4 that way, but however you put it in order. That sort of making some sense? So it's kind of more of a creative thinking about it. But it's a lot less messy than if I say now, when speaking of the other part I didn't mention about were the colors. So you can decide there, I don't know, it's kind of arbitrary what they say about colors. You kind of have your favorites. I don't know what generates that for me. Like my favorite color is green. But any of these colors can be on there, and they themselves, as the kind of sheet explains, can also tell you something. Why would you have red? Well, in our own church, for instance, like it's usually a martyr, right? Someone who gives their life. Or it might be passion, and it could be Valentine's Day, that's about love. So that's the red color usually kind of associated with it. Blue, a Marian color, at least in the Western church. In the Orthodox church, it's interestingly that red is the color of Mary's outer garb. But anyway, that's another story on itself. But we have kind of reasons why we think of colors with some kind of emotion maybe. So let's say you were going to do something about your family. Would it be more blue? Would it be more red? I don't know. I don't know your family. You know your family. What color might be a color to represent the family? Yeah, you can look at that sheet. Kind of has the explanations on it a little bit if you want to say.
I can't even draw a straight line.
And that doesn't really matter. Just make it, it's you. There you are. You're doing great. And you make kind of crisscross with yours. Okay. You got it going. Okay.
Community and world, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, because we also kind of use words as part of also a symbol, if words are easier for you to write with, that's fine too. You don't have to have a picture. In each of those quadrants you can put words too, because in some way they're symbols too. Closest would be probably like a chicken, you could put a bunch of chicken feet, or just little dots or something. Yeah, yeah. Or what else you get down like a big heart. Whatever. Yeah, they aren't necessarily, the symbols aren't necessarily direct all the time. You kind of apply the meaning to it when you put it down. Like someone said, well, what would be a symbol of family? Quite often in the Ukrainian egg dyeing, they'll have a hen and a chick, or chicks. That's family. It's very agricultural in the sense of rural, a lot of the images. Wheat is a kind of a common one of abundance, so there could even be different stalks of wheat representing productivity. Raindrops can sometimes also be teardrops. Maybe you've had sadness as part of your life or your community's life. There probably were a few tears as you kind of had to make transitions. That can be a teardrop, speaks probably volumes, huh? Of sadness, maybe, so in one symbol. Yes, there's probably going to be a musical note on this one, Donna Marie, somewhere. There you go.
What about mine?
There you go. Okay, you put your symbols outside of it, but that's all right. You know what you're doing. Yeah, okay. Kind of looking at 4 different kind of aspects of symbols. What I'm realizing as we're in this kind of quiet mode, you see in some way it's a contemplative spirit. I think we realize that sometimes even when we're doing the coloring or writing. Someone asked, was sharing that they kind of like to journal. These things of putting our hands into action can be kind of a way of praying too, kind of in our own quiet, contemplative way. I just noticed how we all kind of went into ourselves, I think, here as we started doing some of this, creating our eggs. I'll already give you the punchline at the end of this little presentation, which is, whatever you do in your life, be a good egg. Bad. I can do dad jokes, okay. That comes to mind a little bit more when I go home. My sister's always so nervous because they still raise chickens on the farm and my younger brother brings them in. But sometimes she's not sure how long before they were picked up, and so she's not always sure if they're a good egg or a bad egg. So she has to crack them in a different bowl before she puts them to scramble, right? Because you probably don't want to scramble a rotten egg.
Is this one, which is black? This one's a black.
Don't be judged it as a mess. It's the story of your life.
It's just a mess.
It's a holy chaos. How's
There you
that?
go. There you have it.
mixed up. No. I love this idea of the lines. There's something about that ongoingness of lines.
Well, that's my brother's and sisters.
Aha, yeah.
Languages.
There you are, yeah. But to use a line and to do that is kind of neat. Yeah, look at this. Ooh, don't tell me this is the world. Oh my gosh, it doesn't surprise me. No. I see it, but I see this as dark. See, but you see, I see orange there too. But at first it does say now chaos. Yeah. No, I think that's the part when I think about world too. I'm not sure. How did you end up putting world in yours? Oh, okay. Yeah. But interesting, yours actually makes it look like a starburst, so maybe some new creation. I mean, I'm just. Yikes. You made it look kind of pretty. So even a dark star has a beauty, I guess. Huh? How are you guys interpreting the world? Have you come to that one yet? All right, okay. I don't want to pressure you. Is this which is your world? This, or this, which is the world?
This one's the world.
Oh, yeah, okay. You see it as bright?
Hmm?
You see it as bright?
Well, this is bright, and the moon represents darkness.
There you go. Yeah, it's got a mix of both, huh?
And God is over it all.
There you go. Okay.
I'm not very good with things.
You're doing good, though. That's great. What kind of world are you making? You haven't gotten to the world maybe yet. No world yet. Too much creativity and creation to look at, right? How did you end up putting the world? It looks positive to me. Oh, it's got a flower blooming in the sun. Yeah, but I just find this to be kind of a hopeful thing, because I would see when I was thinking of the world, I mean, you could almost paint that whole thing as dark and black, just because it's if you had a view. Yeah. Kind of the vision of, good beauty in creation. Did you interpret anything yet with world or not yet? Yeah, have you come to world yet? Oh, yeah, okay. There you go. Well, next to it. You're busy about creating, okay. everything's kind of rough around these onions. Well, just you have to use imagination now, I guess. Yeah, this is the difficulty already we're experiencing. In a world, the world is around, the egg is around, but your paper is flat. So we're only looking at one side of it. The other part I might just say on this too, you can use even, sometimes black is kind of a little bit more the color of death, or kind of a violent color perhaps. But without some of that darkness, some of our designs wouldn't show up very much either, would they? So there is an element about, and it'd be the same with painting if you're a painter, how do you get the contrast except you need a little dark, or you need a little shadow, huh? And so all of that is also a way of reflecting on our own lives too. It's kind of all in there. And you couldn't have something seen without some kind of darkness to contrast the light. So that's a little theory behind black, and the need for darkness.
I gotta remember what this means.
You can do another one on the back side if you want. Yeah. There you go. Okay, you can do that too. And the world got larger. I love it. There you are. Well, for the poet, words are the creative things. Yeah. Sometimes when you've worked with, and some of you have, I think, worked with pottery, one way of also showing yourself as creation is to simply put your thumbprint, right, or any of your own handprint, especially in wheel thrown pottery. You got yourself right in it because it's you, because of your own individual print. Huh? Is this your world part here then? Kind of chaos then too, or there's hope in there? Okay. There you are. Yeah, because it's still kind of in progress, isn't it? Yeah. 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 I think what I'm going to do is just draw my comments here just to a little bit of a close, but you can stay working on this. I think I'm meeting with someone at the 3 o'clock time, but you can stay in here, and I don't know, Sister Mary, this room is kind of available till...
4, when do they? 4.
They
Can't
start
4.
to have dinner at 4.
Yeah, so kind of take the time you need, but I think I'm going to kind of absent myself here a little bit, and then you can just keep working with your creation. If we could do a process of sharing here, but I don't know. What do you guys think on that? If you want, or maybe not. Yeah. If you want, why don't you find someone that you maybe you're near or whatever. If you want to share and talk, something that's happening at your table, that's fine. Just let that be it. Or you can share it with whoever at another time too. Okay. But if you kind of catch what I was getting at here a little bit today, it isn't that you're going to create and become Ukrainian eggs, but the art itself is a way for us to express ourselves. And just using the idea of the egg helps you reflect on yourself, hopefully today, a little bit about your family, the idea of your community, and the world. Because this is where we're living in our lives, huh? Ourselves, our family, community, and then the world. So thank you.
Oops, where's the egg?
I don't know if we were sharing or talking about something else.
That's okay.
I'll go real quickly. I'm not an artist at all, but this is me, and this is